For joining us again. And at this point, we're 13.2.4, the Affordable Housing Task Force, looking for a mover and a seconder that the application by Linda Leopold to be appointed to the Affordable Housing Task Force be received and supported. Councillor Verbeek, received and supported by Deputy Mayor Shepley. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Committee meeting minutes. 14, that the committee meeting minutes listed in agenda item 14 be received, approved, and adopted as circulated. We have the Appeals Committee from July 16th and the Personnel Committee from August 12th. Looking for a motion that both of those be. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Councillor McGuire-Blaise. I did want to note to the balance of council that the reports from the August 12th meeting, you can go back to the website and read them. We had one on staff retention that seemed to be pretty steady, and also another one on staff training that showed, that we're using quite a bit of our budget on staff training, which was interesting. One of the things that I have an email, I found a conference on urban forestry, so I'm going to send that out. I think if we see training opportunities out there, and since all the work we've done in our downtown cores doing our trees, that's something that kind of sparked my interest. All in favor? And that is carried. Nothing under financial, new business, no notices. Okay. Reports and announcements from council members. We'll start at Councillor McGuire-Blaise.
Nothing to report. Thank you.
I know that kids are back in school. Watch for school buses. Watch for the stop signs. Watch kids crossing the road.
Tonight.
Madam Mayor, tonight I just want to take a minute and thank everybody that worked on the Harrow Fair board, and that they did a fantastic job. It was one of the best ones I've seen, and it was well attended. The pie auction, which was absolutely fantastic. I think it was 117,000 they raised, and I actually found out that Guinness Book of World Record was set for the most money spent on a pie. So that's quite a feat. And it was pretty neat to be able to be there and witness it. Great job, Harold.
Sure, you. Just wanted to say that today was the first day back to school for most people. Remember, the buses are back on the road. Give them wide berths. Stop at the yellow lights, not just the red ones. Thanks.
Thank you, through you, Your Worship. Little recap on my trip to the AMO conference. After a chaotic Sunday of our flights getting canceled. And
Councillor Hammond, we're going to do that the next meeting.
next meeting.
Yeah, at the beginning of the.
Oh, I was requested to have it ready for today.
No, the 16th.
Okay, then I would just like to comment on the passing of a former councillor of Harrow and Colchester Township. This is Francis Deslip, passed away suddenly last week and was laid to rest, or 2 weeks ago, and was laid to rest on Tuesday. Sad day for the town of Harrow and Colchester South, and want to pass that along to everyone else. Thank you.
As our summer draws to a close, I want to take a moment on reflect on the past few months and look forward to what lies ahead for our community. The summer season in Essex has been vibrant and eventful, with highlights including the Essex Fun Fest, Harrow Fair, Essex Center in Harrow, Soapbox Derby, Essex Street Fest, which I think there's a couple more coming, Essex Hope Open Streets, which I know there's one more coming. These events have brought us together to celebrate the place we call home. We are grateful to all the volunteers whose dedication made them possible. We also have the McGregor Mug Run coming up in a little bit, and I hope to see you there. This year has also brought its fair share of challenges, including the loss of hearts. As a small town, we feel each loss personally. Let's continue to support one another during these times of heartache and check in on your loved ones. With students heading back to school, please be extra cautious on roads, especially during drop-off and pickup times. Additionally, it's time to be mindful of all of our agricultural equipment as the harvest season comes. We still have some official plan open houses, so each Wednesday, this Wednesday at the Essex Arena from 5 to 7, and the following Wednesday at the Harrow Arena from 5 to 7. Come out and learn more about our official plan and provide your feedback. I'm also really anxious and excited about our new roads plan, which will shape our community's future and enhance the quality of life. So stay up to date on our social media channels and visit our website regularly. I want to thank everybody for making Essex a vibrant community. I want to thank everybody as well for enduring all the construction we had on our roads. As Councillor Guerin alluded to earlier, we have done a lot of road work, and I know at times it's been trying, but I hope everybody has a safe return back to school. Okay, after that, bylaws requiring a third and final reading, bylaw 2349, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the August 12th regular council meeting. Be read a third time and finally passed on September 3rd. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Councillor Allard, any questions? Seeing none, all in favor. Bylaw 2354, being a bylaw to designate the Essex United Church located at 49 Talbot Street South as being a part of our cultural heritage value or interest under the provisions of the Ontario Heritage Act. Being bylaw 2354 to be read a third time and finally passed on September 3rd. Needing a mover and a seconder for that. Deputy Mayor Shepley, Councillor Verbeek, any questions? Deputy Mayor Shepley.
I know there was the Church of McGregor that was the same night. I thought we were gonna bring it, but I don't see it on here tonight. I'm just wondering if it's coming back soon as well.
You, Deputy Mayor, that particular property, they asked for additional time to review. We've extended that opportunity to the property owner. We have not brought back the application at this time. We're considering it as a part of essentially batch 3 at this point. So it's not on tonight's agenda. We anticipate in the coming weeks or so, although as we all know, there's the timeline is because we've issued notice of intent, we need to kind of get a move on whether or not to designate or not. So it's coming, it's forthcoming. There is, I think, a 90-day window or 120-day window.
Thank you. I was just making sure. I just want to make sure we didn't miss our window on that one. And I'll be supporting this. Thank you.
Opposed? Opposed? You want it noted? That's carried. Bylaw 2358 being a bylaw to designate the John McIntyre Harness Shop building at 103 King Street West in Harrow of being cultural heritage value or interest and the provisions of the Ontario Heritage Act. That to be read a third and finally passed on September 3rd, needing a mover and a seconder. Councillor Mady, supported by Councillor Verbeek. Any questions? Councillor Hammond.
It's a question, but a statement. I'm having a hard time with this one. Knowing the building, I fear for the structural integrity of it. To the best of my knowledge, the owner doesn't want this to be designated. I'm more inclined to follow his wishes, and I don't wish the town to pursue this. Just like I say, due to the integrity of the building, I think it's at this point, unless there's a significant amount of money put into it, it's I feel that it's a building that's on its way down, and that's my recommendation. I'm sorry that I couldn't be more vocal about this prior to coming to council because of being on the Heritage Committee, but I'm sad to say that I'm not in favor of passing this one.
So we have a letter from the owner of the property requesting that we do not. Did he attach anything to it other than that? It just doesn't want to have it designated. Just wondering if there was anything in the letter.
Deputy Mayor, the details of the letter I can pull up in just a moment, but to just summarize, the reasons for notice of objection that a council should be considering is whether or not any new or relevant information has come to light about the cultural value and or cultural interest of the property and not necessarily the conditions. So as a friendly reminder, essentially the building still has the heritage attributes. Any renovations that need to occur within the building are essentially good to go, so long as, of course, they meet building code. The exterior alterations really would be, would have to go through that heritage review prior to building permits being issued. If you just give me a moment, if I could, thank you.
Wish to speak while we're waiting?
I can make a couple more comments.
Okay, sure.
So through you, Madam Mayor, as well, like, so I struggle with this one as it's a private ownership. It's not a church or organization. The private ownership, and if he doesn't want his building protected, I'm leaning more that way, and especially when a member of the Heritage Committee is suggesting that we don't, one's suggesting we do, one's suggesting we don't. This is a tough one for me. I don't know. I think it's really difficult for me to decide on this one. Now you're ready with the letter, I'm assuming.
I'm always ready. I think Kevin said that one time. So the letter indicates that although the property owner indicates for reasons stated before, I don't have much detail beyond what's in front of me in terms of the letter that was attached to council report last month, indicates that several changes to the building such as cedar shake siding and an awning built on the front. All door frames have been closed in with glass block or wood frame to accommodate smaller doors. All windows changed to updated vinyl windows and aluminum frames with no regard for past design. So it was indicated that the property owner felt that the heritage value was essentially removed or altered in a way. Following the review of that letter of objection, administration still feels and recommends full designation of the property for cultural significance, cultural value, heritage value, of course. And as indicated before, those renovations would not necessarily be prohibited, just a matter of going through the process.
All in favor? That's 4. Opposed? That's 4. Motion has failed. Bylaws to be read a first, second, third, and final reading. Bylaw 2366, being a bylaw to establish a subsidy program in the town of Essex. To be read a first, second, third, and provisionally adopted on September 3rd. Subsidy program. Councillor Verbeek? Councillor Mady, any questions? All in favor? And that's carried, and we'll get word out again and constantly trying to remind residents of emergency preparedness when we're not flooding so that we can get more prepared. Bylaw 2367, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the September 3rd regular council meeting, needing a mover and a seconder, that this be read a first and second time. Moved by Deputy Mayor Shepley, supported by Councillor Mady. Any questions? All in favor? That's carried. In a motion to adjourn, and we'll see you at the official plan if you so desire to come. Councillor Guerin, Councillor McGuire Blaze, all in favor. Thank you for joining us this evening.